Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy Pete, also known as Captain P67. We're back here today for the Season 2 Last Epoch Early Build Planner. Now, if you saw my last video, I did a God build for the WRAITHLORD, which we ran at like all different levels in corruption, 500 plus. We killed Aberoth, we melted everything. And I believe at the start we did 500 corruption, so we got some footage here for you. Yeah, so 533 corruption, 300, 400. We blasted through the monoliths, we beat Aberoth like I said, and we did everything super comfortable and super quick. And then since then I've had some people commenting on the video and joining the live streams asking for a build planner before we go for the next season. So what I've done is I'll post the links in the description below, so you have a full build planner anyway, so you can check that out. But I'll quickly just go over what we've got, and also there is a brand new unique that's just been added, which could potentially be godly with the right setup. But when launchers come out, I do want to test it further, so we'll do that live in the stream as well. So in regards to gear wise, I've gone off gear that's probably easy to find, especially when you're first starting. So in regards to helmet, you can use any helmet as you're obviously blasting through the campaign, but ideally you do want to get this since you've got intelligence, which does scale with any sort of minions. So any minions you want in this build you can have, so it's not just stuck to the WRAITHLORD. You could use summon skeletals, you could use the archers, whatever kind of minions you want to use. This build will literally work for everything in the game. The dexterity is just for dodge rating. Necrotic resistance will give you a bit of a ward retention, give you more defensive capabilities. The skeletal scepter is probably best in slot early game in general and average. Reach of the grave is obviously better overall because you get armor shred, but we can go for that in the passive tree. But with the base scepter at early level, you could find one with base minion damage, which would be good. But ideally you are looking for minion melee damage or spell damage, depending on which minions you use, like I said. And of course, volatile zombies you're going to get guaranteed, and you can convert them to necrotic. So even if you keep them as normal, it's one, but ideally you will change them to necrotic with this current build, and this will scale perfectly with the WRAITHLORD. But again, you change it how you want, but necrotic will be beneficial for those as well. Now in regards to the chest piece, normally you'd want ideally +4 to, you know, Wraith or +4 to anything, but obviously early into the game you're not really going to get that many +4s, so whatever you get +2 to for example skeletal mage, you could put that on there. You could even do like a golems build, and even like a skeletal build if you wanted, because they all scale off intelligence. So like I said, you can just change what you want, but ideally you just want a plus skill to any minion to start off with and then build that up. And main stats are is like damage leads to health for survivability, increased minion health early game, since your minions will die quite quick if you don't have that much HP for them. And then obviously you can always convert that to minion damage, and any sort of intelligence on the chest piece will help out. Now death rattle is kind of standard, so you could use the normal exalted amulets, which I've shown before and gone on stream. But normal amulets, purple amulets, can give you like minion flat damage, minion crit chance, stuff like that. However, when you are going for more ideal crits and higher part of the gear, this is a common drop anyway, so you'll get this pretty much early. And if you're on Merchant's Guild, all these you can find super quick if you do go on Merchant's Guild, since they are early items and they're kind of common drops as well. This gives you minion damage, minion crit chance, etc. Intelligence again, crit strike multiplier. All of this is here, and also I'll link in my god build for the WRAITHLORD just a day or two before this season, because I've explained everything in there and why I've done everything anyway. So it's more of a detailed explanation. Now this is a brand new offhand catalyst, so this is brand new just for the season. And I've already got some like tech I'm going to be working on with this and another item in the game. But again, once we start blasting, we start farming the gear and maybe getting a couple of slams, I can explain more in depth of what we're going to do and how we can scale even more damage. But what's cool about this is you get 2 to 5 intelligence off in base, which is great. Cast speed for yourself, which could then summon the zombies as well, depending on what zombies you're using. But it also says you summon historic minion from a random era of Terra, which could be whatever. And I don't know exactly what it's going to summon or what the options are. But when we do get it, I'll do testing on the stream, and we can go through all the minions it summons. We can find out what scales are best, and then I can make the build either specifically for that one minion to scale even more damage, or I can find out the best kind of like stats or scaling for all the minions that they spawn, and it does minion melee damage. So I'm assuming the different types of minions it does physical, and then it says spell, so it could be ranged, could be close quarters, and we can scale that. I just need to know what's available. Then of course increase minion movement speed, which is godly, and it comes with base elemental resistance, which is pretty awesome. 12 to 16, which is godly. And obviously with the Nemesis Slam, you could probably get like either intelligence to scale even more, or something else on top. And same with the Death Rattle as well. In regards to the base rings, some of these can be found early, so I'll put a yellow one on there as well as a purple one. Ideally, you want minion damage, minion health, minion crit strike multipliers implicit. But intelligence you want mainly on there, increase minion damage. Crit strike avoidance, so you can cap your crit strike avoidance early with the blessing. But ideally you can just put resistances in regards to the suffixes. And I've just added these ones for now, but again you could add whatever you got depending on what chest piece you got or your main gear as well. So just use the suffixes for resistances and to cap those, and everything else is covered. On the belt you want to obviously go for main minion damage, increased health mainly. They may have changed the volatile zombies when I was looking with the build planner. It says 2B summoned on use, but that doesn't really matter anyway because we've already got volatile zombies to proc. And also I'm assuming with the Wraith it will eat the bees anyway and do more damage. But you also get the increased minion damage, which is more the important part of it, which is the flat damage. So that will work out that way. And in regards to the gloves, early on you're not really going to do a low life build because you're not going to have that much HP. On the WRAITHLORD God build I had, we went for a low life build, and I explained all that in the video. But in regards to early game, you just want to get your resistances and flat minion damage intelligence, and again resistance is covered. And also same thing with the boots. You're not really going to have like the highest sort of flat minion damage on the boots, but ideally you just want movement speed, ward decay threshold, intelligence. You can add on more resistances to cover and cap anything you're missing. And increase minion damage, again, flat is great, but any sort of minions teleported around you have to use a traversal skill works. With my build, I had not only the Wraith, I had some smaller Wraiths with me, so I think realistically you could go for like a T3 or a tier 3 upwards. Anything less it might not be as viable, so try and get that. And then finally the Ambitions of an Erased Acolyte, which is a common drop, super easy to get. And again, some of these items will drop in the campaign. I've done the campaign with numerous characters, and a lot of these items I've got. So yeah, ideally on this you do want intelligence for the slam. You get base endurance, 1 level of acolyte skills, which again can go for your minions, which is awesome. You get ward retention, etc. But intelligence and any other sort of attributes will be great. And try and aim for like tier 5 at least, and then you can always get better ones when you start blasting the game a bit more. So yeah, as far as you can see the stats here, even off just average gear, you're going to get about 70 plus intelligence, which is good, and it will scale. Intelligence scales for all your minion damage as well as your like ward and ward retention. What I've done in regards to the skills, again, I've left the first skill off on purpose because you can choose whatever you want with the Necromancer starting off with. So again, you could go summon skeletal mages, you could go golems, you could go summon skeletals here, just the base ones. Then obviously when you do get to the higher levels, you get fully ranked, you can also bring out the smaller wraiths. And then obviously when you do get the helmet, which is the WRAITHLORD's Harbour, then you could go for the the main wraith as well, which will be the WRAITHLORD. So without it you can't summon the WRAITHLORD, but with the helmet you could summon the WRAITHLORD, which again is the WRAITHLORD's Harbour helmet, which is more of a common drop anyway, so you can easily get the helmet. It's not really a difficult helmet to find. Now in regards to this, like I said, so the first one you can add whatever you want in there in regards to that, and then you just scale whatever you want. Dreadshade though has been changed, so something that's very, very important now. I brought up the patch notes just to show you. So Dreadshade no longer has a 20-second duration. We increased it when we did it and we made our god build to 40 seconds on average, but now it persists until replaced due to exceeding maximum active shades. So you can, the way I've built it, you have 1 and you only want to really target your godliest minion for the WRAITHLORD, but if you tweak it you can have it active on more minions. but now it's literally it hasn't no duration, which is insane. So I'm super happy about this. So basically, it'll persist until replaced due to exceeding maximum active shades or the targeted minion dies, which is a hella buff. So with the WRAITHLORD, we just proc it once, Infernal Shade, and it just will wipe everything off the map. Hence why I'm kind of hyped to see what we can do with the build in general. So you can double check the patch notes yourself, but that's what I've found on there, so that's going to be insane. So yeah, in regards to Dreadshade, you can just go for the skill tree. I'm not going to go for all this again. The nodes are there, the build plan is there. Just look through it accordingly and it will explain everything for you. And again, that other video I'll attach, I actually went through all these skills top to bottom. I explained everything in depth. So this is pretty much an exact copy of my WRAITHLORD God build just before Season 2, like a day or two. And again, we did 500 corruption plus and it was just super easy. So just copy this exactly, go off the build planner. And same thing applies for a Dreadshade, Infernal Shade as well. It's exactly the same thing. Transplant, exactly the same thing, so just copy it to a T. And if you want more of an explanation, just go to the other YouTube video and I'll link that for you as well. But everything will be in the build planner. Put this on pause, I think we got the video playing. So one more thing is as well, volatile zombies. So in regards to leveling and blasting through the campaign, you really want to go for volatile zombies for a couple of reasons. They're super good for leveling and super fast kill things in the game, and you really want to go for this, which is Pull of the Grave. So this actually has the highest kill threshold in the game. So any enemy in the campaign or corruption, whatever it scales, when they get to 16 HP, your volatile zombies will insta-kill them. It'll save you a lot of time. It will get you more XP. You'll just blast through the monos. You'll blast through the content super quick with this. So whenever you go to volatile zombies, it's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's only 5 points, 6 points, kind of just to get to here. The rest you can proc into you on early game. So even early game, you just go into here. Volatile zombies will kill stuff. You'll level up quicker and you're good to go. And then that covers that. So like I said, this one, just choose whatever you want in there. And if you want me to cover anything like Summon Skeletor early game and any of these other ones, I can go through that with you. But me personally, what I'd recommend is just go for Skeletal Mage early or something, or Summon Skeleton's base. That will pretty much kill smaller mobs and smaller bosses early in the campaign anyway. And then your volatile zombies will just do the rest for you. And then get the helmet, then get the WRAITHLORD. And if you don't want to do that, then just see what you can level up off this and scale this. And there's also another offhand for this as well, which is another just item, which again will be in the video. The other item would be the Fleshbound Tomb, which is on my other WRAITHLORD God build. And this is also included in that other video, so you could compare this if you want, which is just prior to Season 2. So this one gives you intelligence, minion damage, minion health, minion damage, minion health, and obviously your resistances, which will increase your damage. If you look up at the Warlock tree, as well as your resistances as well, and defensive stuff too. So that covers that. Now, we've gone over the gear, we've gone over skills. As you can see, the resistances are covered here, and very, very important, I always go for this and people do miss this, crit strike avoidance. Super quick. In regards to Reign of Dragons, you can get up to 70% on empowered, so beat the campaign, do your normal monos, do your empowered monos, get crit strike avoidance, try and get between 60 plus, and once you get that, just get one ring, one critical strike avoidance in your ring, belt, whatever, and that's your crit strike avoidance done. And once you've done that, your survivability increases, makes it a lot better for you in the game, and you can blast through a lot more content without getting one-shotted, and hardly getting like one-shotted from anything, and then getting more XP as well. So gear we've gone through, I think, yeah, gear we've gone through. And I was getting to the boots actually. One more thing on the gear as well. When it comes to the boots, I've explained all this in the last video, but with your boots, if you can get any sort of minions teleported around you, traversal, if you can get like a tier 2, tier 3 and above would be great, because the way I made it, the WRAITHLORD traverses with me plus extra minions. So we always want about 3 minions when we traverse, roughly. And depending on with this one as well, how many minions in total will be procced. I would ideally go for that. And as long as you get intelligence, it will scale it. But just try and get tier 3 and above, and you should be good. Again, we've gone over this, and yeah. Blessings wise, very, very important. When you're blasting or trying to level up, the first blessing is one of the most important ones. Grand Strength of Mind. It gives you increased experience, so you can actually level up with this a lot quicker. Whereas if you didn't have this on, it'll take you a lot longer to level up, and you'll be missing out on the extra XP. So it's definitely a good tip, I'd say, for anybody that's new to the game or wants to level up quicker in the game. Increased ring drop rate. Obviously, we're going to be using rings, so anything that gives you a chance to get extra rings, use it, whatever. Another blessing that's important is ward gained on kill from the Black Sun. So every time we do kill anything, we get more ward, more survivability, decay threshold. This one is for wand rate, so blood, frost and death. Use a scepter, use a wand. Reach of the grave is ideally the better one, and that is a wand per se, but again you can use scepter for now. Lagan, End of the Storm. Health regen, very important. Even if you're going for a low life, you get more HP, which also then in return can scale your ward, which I've broken down and gone through my God build and my WRAITHLORD build video. Increase one shard drop rate. So when you're first blasting on a new cycle, you want as many shards as you can get, and this will give you the wand ones for the Reach of the Grave. And in regards to that, you do ideally want minion spell damage, and necrotic, which I went through as well. Crit strike avoidance we've gone through. Skill shard drop rate, obviously for your skills, any sort of shards help out, especially on a new cycle, so you can slam better items and slam better gear in general. And then Age of Winter, increased armor on the higher empowered, gives you like up to 55, which is great, more survivability and tankiness. And then last but not least, Spirits of Fire, you want to get minion damage, and you can get it to 100% on here as well. So that covers skills. We've gone through the inventory. We've gone through the blessings. We've gone through the idols. I don't think we've gone through the passives, so we'll go through the passives as well. In regards to idols, you do want to get one large immortal idol at least. You can put it on this side or this side, and it will give you. I think they've got increased health and ward per second, so they've added extras to it, which is awesome. And you can also chance to apply Mark for Death on hit with minion skills. So whenever your minions hit, depending on it, even with these minions, you'll do Mark for Death, which basically gives everything a 25% decreased resistance modifier. So it's basically debuffs them 25% of all resistances. Any resistance they have, they lose 25% of, and it lasts for a short duration. So if you're doing bleed damage, the resistance to bleed will go down, poison, any sort of damage you're doing, this will benefit you. And this is just for a hit. It doesn't have to even be like a kill. If your minion hits them and you've got lots of minions, you're guaranteed to proc it. But if you're not, even if you've got one that does a few hits here and there, you can still apply it as well. Adorned Immortal Idol is great for ward retention. And if you are going for like wraiths, you can summon a flame wraith instead of a normal wraith. And I did use this in the WRAITHLORD God build. And you could proc 2 in there as well. If you get 2, you could just move these idols round accordingly. And then Grand Bone Idol, I'd recommend this for a couple of reasons. Chance to apply Plague on hit, which is a poison skill, which does damage over time. If you include that with Life Leech, you get your Life Leech back. But then most important is less damage over time taken. So if you're getting hit with poison, bleed, any sort of damage, DOT, dot damage, this will negate that, allowing you more survivability as well, which is great. And then I think that's it. I think we've covered pretty much everything. Death Rattle is pretty much ideal, best in slot still. There are some new amulets that came out, so I will be testing those on full release, like actually on the stream. So if you want to check that out, you can. I do stream every day on Last Epoch as well as other games. But as far as Death Rattle goes, it's still just too good. Minion flat damage, minion crit strike chance, minion crit strike multiply, intelligence gives us more ward. Minions take a bit more damage, and also the minions, if the minion dies, we get health. It's just way too good right now. But again, the other amulets are dope, and you can slam an LP 1, 2, or whatever you get as well. And then that's it. I think that's everything covered, folks. So if I have missed anything, just post in the comments below. But this should help you get started at least. And obviously, like I said, I am streaming, and we'll be blasting day 1 until I get to my build to level 100. All my builds I push to level 100. We max them, min-max them on stream. So my Necromancer will be pushing this hard. Preferably I'll go for WRAITHLORD build, but again, I'm just kind of hyping just to see what we can do with this and what kind of minions we're going to get in with scale, which should be awesome. But either way, I'll probably go WRAITHLORD fully, depending on what's available. and then we can just blast, and then Uber Aberoth will take that on as well. We'll do it live on the stream, we'll record it, we'll do a guide for it, and yeah, we'll blast from there. And then possibly a Warlock build, which I've been asked to do. I just made another Warlock build which did 750 corruption, easy, and all my god builds. My Warpath build got buffed as well, that was 775 corruption. My Lich build got buffed, that was on 1500 corruption. I got so many builds and god builds coming, so yeah, I'm hyped, can't wait. Looking forward to the new change and the buffs to test out as well, so it's going to be hella hype. So links will be in description below. So just to recap, I'll post a build planner for this build currently. I'll post the link to the other build, the god build with the full build planner in there. The links for Twitch will be in there as well, and obviously the YouTube will be there for you as well. But apart from that, that is the starter build for you to get started and blast through. And yeah, if you have any questions, post in the comments below. Just join the live stream. And wherever you are, have a good morning, have a good night, have a good evening. I will catch you on the next one. Take it easy and peace out.